But I really feel it's the phone. I really feel it's the phone. I definitely was praying about today's session, and I was saying to myself, um, I need to get all of Bolaji, all of her, because, and I was thinking, what dimension? This is the transfer window. So I know that there's a lot of recruitment going on, there's a lot of moving going on across companies. So Bolaji will be very, very, very instructive in that area. But also, Bolaji has a life journey and how she has become where she is. So I'm very, very excited about that. So I will just let us flow because we're good friends. So in case you get lost in our conversation, just know that it's not personal. We are just catching up also on the live. And she just said it's great to be here. Bolaji, you don't believe that sometimes I'll be looking for your name. I'll put Bolaji and I remember that I saved you as BJ Diva because you are a diva. And your story is one to be. It's one to be heard. It's not one to be swept under the covers. And I hope that your autobiography, you are working on it. I just hope so. But I will ask you all those questions live. So I'm going to welcome to Navi Work, your guide to settling into a new environment, fresh out of school, or whether you're transitioning from one organization to another. At Navi Work, we recognize that it can be challenging to navigate, the waters of a new environment because most of us that come and talk to you here, or specifically myself, we've been there, like I see on the videos, we've done that and we've worn the t-shirt, and that's why we're here to help. This is us giving back. This is us excited to be a part of your career journey, and we've gotten interesting, fantastic feedback, and we will sort of from time to time share those. Thank you. Sorry, I've just been a mommy. So Roshan is here. Roshan is my global director for sales and marketing. Thank you, Roshan. Good to see you. So Bolaji is already here, so I think we'll go straight into it. I was introducing Navi Work. Roshan, you can put up the YouTube channel so that anybody that has not subscribed can, get out of the live, go and subscribe and come back. I'm also the best-selling author of the book Body Up, and most of the things that I share from Body Up. In fact, the first 50 videos that went out on Navi Work where I read directly from the book because it's supposed to be a weekly guide to settle into a new environment, and then the last 2 weeks, because you have 52 weeks in a year, the last 2 weeks you're supposed to use it to chill and enjoy your Christmas holiday. Like I just came back from my Christmas holiday. I look forward to having another one and having these holidays over and over again because you do come back refreshed, you come back rested, you come back happy, to be honest. So yeah, that's where I'm at. So today, before I bring on Bolaji, and because we're navigating the transfer window, I'm going to read from chapter 49, I think, because 49 and 48 talks about, thank you, Roshan, 49 and 48 talk about don't be pushed, jump. And that's the 49, and then 49, and sorry, 49 and 50. And then 50 talks about after the jump. So he generally talks about how to resign, when to resign and how to resign. And I think I should read 50 and just talk about something about after you have resigned. I'll take chapter 11, review the staff handbook. If you haven't gotten the book, please get your copy of the book. Make an appointment with a representative of your company's human resources. Hey, talks. Okay, sorry, they told me to stop doing that because Russia needs to get clips. So I'm going to start again. Meals Reloaded, thank you for joining. You guys have to join in. If I brought some Bolaji now, what would you have done? Okay, so chapter 11, review the staff handbook. Make an appointment with a representative of your company's human resources department to review the staff employee handbook. Understand what you're entitled to regarding benefits and compensation for unused vacation days, accrued leave pay, or any aspects of your pay that has accrued over time. If you have retirement plans through your job, determine how to transfer the funds. If you have any outstanding or liabilities, ensure that you offset them before from your final entitlements, or provide a payment plan to offset these loans. And I talk about many other things, which if you want to know, buy the book, and you will see them for yourself. So yeah. Yeah, so Bolaji and I were generally talking about this transfer window, how people resign, and she posted something. So you can follow her. She's at BJ Diva. I don't know if Roshan can also find Bolaji's handle and put it up. I know she has already put a Navi Work Life, but if you find Bolaji's handle, put it up. You can also follow her on LinkedIn. She's always dropping nuggets. Always dropping nuggets. Anybody that is joining us because of Bolaji, I'm sure you know what I'm saying. For those of you that don't know her, I will bring her up and she may even just take over this live. She's good like that. Yeah. So this is the transfer window, January to March. People wait till the end of January, collect their bonuses from the companies they're on, and then decide whether they will really move on to that company that they've been interviewing with, have even gone for medical tests and all those things, and just tell you that, oh, they're sorry, they have to go. Sometimes they give you notice, sometimes they don't. But in the book, we provide a guide on how to leave, because you don't burn your bridges. You don't want to be bad mouthing your employers, the current employers, because you're moving to a new one. We also talk about the fact that you don't have an engagement with your human resource manager or whoever is there, and um, let them know that, oh, you are leaving and you just want to know what you need to do for the company or do with the company, and what they owe, and ask them what they owe you. If you owe them, ask them if what you owe them can be offset from your final entitlements. If they owe you, tell them that you like to get a sense of what they owe you, just so that you can plan. A very polite, decent conversation. But I want Balaji to help navigate this. I'm going to read her profile. Let me not just talk about her from my head. I will read her profile, and then I will bring her up first, and I'll read her profile when she's here. Okay. I don't know if you read her up first, and I'll read her profile when she's here. Okay. Oh, it's freezing. Yes, yes, I've seen her. I've added her, Russian, but it's freezing. Russian, is everybody still hearing me? Because I'm here too, and I'm seeing that it's freezing. You know what? Let me try to. Yes, yes, I've seen her. Okay, so I don't know what's happening with Bolaji, but what I will do is send an invite instead, because okay, she's dropped out. She's not here anymore. I'll have to find out. Or is she here? I'm back now. Okay, thank you. But I need to know where Bolaji is, because I'm not seeing her anymore. Okay, I'm inviting her. Bolaji, I've sent you an invite, so please accept it. I've sent it. Yay! BJ Diva!
Amazing, amazing.
I feel like hugging you. I feel like hugging you. Oh my God, look at you.
Yes,
Oh, Bolaji, I'm hugging you. Yeah, let's
easy.
hug each other. If you think I have energy, Bolaji is energy times 100. She's
Amazing. I
energy.
think your energy is more than my own.
I don't, Bolaji, please. I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm not sure. I don't think so. My energy cannot be more than your own. No, 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 Bolaji, please. Don't say that. Bolaji is energy raised to the power. Those of you that she has trained, those of you that she has, had meetings with, you know what I'm saying? And you will experience her. I know what to do to turn her. But let me read her profile, because I don't want to take her for granted. Let me read her profile. So, a prolific, wait, so I can't even, I don't want to, I want to read everything. A prolific human resources professional with over 17 years experience in leading teams across diverse industries. She graduated from the prestigious Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, with a degree in philosophy and sociology. A member of the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management. She also bagged a diploma in social sciences and counseling from the ARLT Foundation. the Netherlands. She attended Advanced Human Resources Management at the Lagos Business School. She's an expert in the strategic, tactical, and transitional aspects of human resources management, development and implementation of policies, programs, and practices through frameworks that support organizational growth and development, proven ability to drive impactful initiatives and execute successful projects and programs and strategies. Part of the things that are notable in her career includes the successful commencement and implementation of a thriving HR department in 3 organizations. She likes to help startups, so if you have a startup here, Bolaje is the person to go to set up your human resources department. She provides consulting on that. She also championed and led various projects alongside with her HR consulting practice. She worked with firms like Accenture, KPMG, Ernst & Young, towards organizational development and transformation. She has competencies in many things. Roshan, I think after this, we need to also post Bolaji's profile. Her profile is to give people, BP. She's a professional to the core. She has worked with Bolaji. Calm down. These people need to hear you. I can't wait for you to start talking. Then they'll know that I was not overhyping you. She has worked in many countries, and Bolaji just recently came back from the UAE, where she was also consulting on a project there. So she doesn't just have skill with Nigerian HR experience. She has also worked in Dubai, and she has that experience as well. But she's a home girl, and she likes the kind of comfort that you don't get in the abroad. She has to get that comfort. She's also a public speaker with competency and exposure in facilitation. So if you have anything in your organization, training and development, Bolaji is your go-to person. Bolaji also is a top 100 career women in Nigeria she got that award in 2022. Top 100 career women in Nigeria. So she's a big deal. And what is and I don't know how, I'm not going to get into it, but what is most remarkable about Bolaji is she went through all these remarkable things I read about her. She went through it as a widow. So that means she was achieving, she was raising 2 amazing boys. When I see them now, I feel very old. When I see their pictures, I'm just like, when were these people like this, that they are now like that? But all these achievements she bagged, she acquired in the course of mourning a husband that she loved. He was a young guy for like 18 years or something, mourning a husband that she loved, raising children, and all sorts of things with only God as our help. So to be honest, bringing Bolaji is very good for this period. But I also need her to, at some point in our conversation, talk about how she was able to handle these pressures. And Bolaji is very real. So I'm sure she'll tell you the days he was hard, the days he wasn't hard. But I'll go straight into it. We're talking about navigating the transfer window. Bolaji, I saw something that you posted where you said resignation is part of the employment. Why are we packaging? I want us to start from there, Bolaji. And you can talk about yourself. Anything I've not said, you can say. But let your energy go. BJ Giver, over to you.
It's such an honor to be here. And, they say, do what you love. And I have, my mentor just gave me, love what you do and do what you love. I love this. I've spoken at a company strategy retreat today, and I'm doing this today as well. So this is me. This is what I love to do, right? And I'm really, really amazing. I do not take it for granted. I mean, there's so many other people you could have called to do this with you, and I'm glad you chose me. And you and I have such great energy. I remember then and all that. I even remember how we met, and now I just looked at you and I'm like, this person reminds me of myself in a funny way, and that's been the kind of energy that we both shared, the kind of mindset that we both shared over the years. And like you said, keeping it real. This is a very touchy issue or matter, as it were. And the way I write, it's something that I'm passionate about. I just got inspired to write about it, to say, because some of these, some of my write-ups are just merely inspiration. Sometimes
Bolaji, you are freezing, oh, please, oh, you are freezing, oh.
number of people that have been touched by, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
Yes, I said you'll be touched at the number of people who come to my DM, who come to me to say, oh, you wrote that for me. That's been my story. This is what I'm going through, and things like that. And, you know, I basically just wrote about that because resignation is a part of employment, just as recruitment is a part of employment. And we need to balance these things. It's not just, it shouldn't be a one-sided conversation. But what I noticed that is very common, even while before I started Ingenuity HR, and I'd work for, when you say work for different organizations, I've worked for different organizations, and even right now I consult for different organizations. So one of the things that I observe is how people resign. I know of a story. A lot of people write to me on LinkedIn. They reach out to me. Sometimes it gets quite overwhelming. And this young man sent me a message and said, oh, I'm working in XYZ and all of that, and my employer has been owing us for a while, and I don't want to return the employer's company's property with me. I have the laptop, and I told him, return the property. Return the property. Two wrongs do not make a right. How did they say that? You can't say because your employer has done something wrong that you will now go and do something that does not justify what the employer has done. In the course of working for people, in the course of employment, have I been badly treated? Yes. Have I ever left any job without doing what was proper? Because at the end of the day, what most people forget is that it is your responsibility. It's your reputation. It is your professionalism. And professionalism is a standard anywhere. You don't owe it to anyone. You owe it to yourself about who you are, and being true to yourself about who you are. People should not determine your behavior. I always said that. By the way, I had an employer who had resigned, and the employer told me to go. Just because, I mean, you were reading something, and I wrote it down, how to resign, and when something in that book, to make an appointment.
At the end of this, you're going to get a copy of our book just as a big thank you, so that you're not struggling like that. I'm so sorry, that's my fault. You're going to get a copy. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I mean, I was listening to what you were saying, and it resonated with me. Yeah. In the sense that sometimes you need to know what is in the company's policy.
Yes.
And I can tell you, I'm a storyteller, so I can tell you different stories of how, when I remember one of the places, I told you there was a place that when I resigned, the employer then asked me to leave. Because what happened? In the company's handbook, it says if you're not a confirmed staff, and I was not a confirmed employee at the time, to say you can only give ABC number of weeks. And I stayed.
Bolaji, please, this is very important. This network.
Oh, you cannot leave it empty. You know. Can you hear me?
The company said you can only give. That's where we stopped. So continue from there.
Okay.
Please, I can't miss
the company said that I should give more than what was stipulated in the employee handbook. So at the time, I actually refused, because I was already even tired of working in that place. I'd gotten a new role, and I said, I'm not going to give more than what I'm meant to do. I'm just going to give what was within the sphere of what I'm meant to do, so that when you take it anywhere, it won't be that I'm breaking any law. And that was what I gave the right notice period, only for them to want to extend it by another 2 weeks. I think what they were trying to do is to ensure that the role was not vacant, because they saw they never saw my resignation coming. So it came to them as a surprise, and they wanted to make up for it. And you know, I made a case to say, I'm not going to stay. This was a company that was very toxic and all of that. I just tried to, you know, work within that time frame, do everything I'm meant to do. I don't think there's any employer that I've ever resigned from who will say, I saw it coming. Oh, she was going to resign. Because I give my best, I put in my all in all before I exit. Even if I resign, resignation is not an opportunity for you to now be doing whatever you like and say, oh, Shebi, I've resigned, I can do whatever I like. Okay, so this particular company, they decided, in fact, the way they made me resign, this is the first time I'm sharing it openly. I've written about it, but I think it's a good story for all of us to learn from. You know, I was in the course of doing my work. I'd resigned, I'd moved on. I sent in my resignation, but I continued doing my work. And in fact, I was doing the company's work when I observed that I'd been logged out of the system. I was in transit. We went to a customer site, and I asked my colleague, can you know the way technology is, I just saw that I was trying to send an email. It's as if you've been taken off, you've been yanked off the company's network. And the person said, oh, she could send an email. I said, I tried sending an email. I couldn't say, oh, said she doesn't know. Well, I got to the office. They are taking my laptop. I was not wondering what was going on. I tried to reach out to someone. Nobody reached out to me. Only for me to, that night, by the time I got home, I then got an email to say, please find attached this letter. And the letter was the funniest letter till today. That's the funniest letter I ever received in the course of my employment. They said, oh, since while we agree with you that you can resign, Amazing, can you
Very well. I'm following you.
Okay, now you said that you can resign within XYZ period. You are costing us. You're a cost to us if you continue to serve your notice period. So please leave right now. Me, God, I even wanted to travel. I was so happy. You know, when they say all things work together for good, they literally sacked me from that place after resigning. And of course, I just did everything they did. I didn't want to pursue anything, because if you are doing guiding places where people work, and what is applicable in Nigeria is different from what is applicable in Dubai, is different from what is applicable in the UK, is different from what is applicable in where is the Botswana or any other place that I've had stint in working with, you know. So it's quite different. But I mean, so I could sue them because the Nigerian whatever says either party must give notice or pay. They didn't pay me for letting me go before that time. They just paid me till that day that they told me to be going. They didn't want to pay me anything extra. You know, I just looked at it and moved on. I mean, it was their loss, and I was glad to be out from their environment. What am I saying? I mean, another person could have looked at it in another dimension, you know. There are people who will say, with that kind of workspace, I won't even give. I know people who say, I won't even give any notice. I will show them. No, don't do that. It's unprofessional. And it's like you said, you burn bridges that way. This same employer, not up to a few months after, where I went to, the new company I went to, they reached out to me that I should come and help them. And I did. Maybe that's just Bolaje for you. Or let me put it this way: when you've seen God fight for you, there's no need to start fighting for yourself. It looks very very unreal, unnatural sometimes, but like my mother would say, leave especially when you are dealing with people that you know you caught.
Oh yeah.
You are going to waste all your effort and energy that you could put in other things, in doing other productive things. So for people who resign in those manner, or no matter how bitter you are with your employer, please ensure that you do the right thing. Another story that I quickly want to tell you that swapped the other way.
Bolaji, not quickly, oh. They came to learn from you today. So that's so I quickly want to tell you. Please, what's the meaning of that? Please take
Okay,
your time
sorry.
and give out the nuggets from all the stories. Like you say, you are a storyteller. So don't say I
Yes,
quickly want to
I
tell
tell
you.
stories
That's
because
why
I
you
feel that people connect more
not
to
from
stories.
Please tell us.
And these stories are my own stories, or other people's stories that I've seen. So the other story I wanted to tell you was, again, referring to what you said. So I resigned from a workplace too as well. And my employers sent me the first thing when the way and manner you even resign matters a lot. I will always, and I say always, want to have a conversation with the employer first before I send in my resignation. That's what you call relationship management. You just don't, send them they just open their emails and they see. But let me also give you a trick. Please make sure that your letter is ready. As soon as you inform them that you are leaving, please send your letter immediately, because some employers are also vindictive. If you don't do it as at that time you say you do it, they will now be the one that will tell you to go. You don't want to put yourself in that. Be smart. Be smart. So be polite, be professional, engage them to say, these are my plans, I plan to resign, and do it immediately. Don't now be waiting. Sometimes that's how they will now be the one that will now tell you to go, when you are the one who already told them that you wanted to leave. So this my employer, I've worked with it, and I wanted to move on to other things. Only for my so I called my employer and he asked me this question. He said, how long have you been thinking about this? And I said, since the second month that I joined the organization, and that was my third year there. And my boss was shocked. Today is my client. He was shocked. He was like, he couldn't process it. That you wanted to leave at the second month you joined. You were here with us for 3 years and you made tremendous impact. Some people say, Ashebi, I will soon resign, so let me just be doing anyhow. Don't do that. But the story I wanted to bring out here was, okay, I spoke with him like I said I speak, and the time that he was going to be around was too long for me. So I told him, I said, so I'm going to send him my resignation. He said, okay, no worries, and I sent it. And he didn't engage me, he didn't say anything. He was on a long trip out of the country, and then he came back. When he came back, he said, see me in my office. Guess what? Amazing. Let me shock you. My boss, even me that was HR, I never saw that clause in the handbook. I'd given the right notice in my mind that I was going to give a month's notice. And then I realized that he said people that were in management roles could not give, you had to give longer notice. Meanwhile, and that thing affected me for a while, because that means that I don't like resigning from jobs and jumping to another job. And that thing enabled me to, when I'm reading the resignation clause for an organization, I read it like I want to do an exam, so that you know what they call blind spot. You'll be shocked if they told me that there was that part that I did not realize. He says there was a tiny part that says, however, people in management role, and that's the argument he brought to me. He told me, you're in a management role, so excuse me, you cannot give me that notice. You have to do much more. I think maybe he felt that if I also stayed longer, he'll be able to convince me, because all of that time he said, just tell me anything you want, I will give you. Just tell me, I will give you. Do you want an increase? I will give you. Do you want a car loan? I will give you. Do you want I said, sir, I don't want anything. I want to move on to something else. I think I'm done. You know, and I had to do that notice period because that's what the policy says. So I cannot start acting smart to say, after all, the standard anywhere is 1 month's notice. No, in their own employee handbook, it says 6 weeks. That's why people will now remember that, I may say you're a lawyer now. They will not remember what the law says. Meanwhile, you signed the employee handbook when you came into the organization. I just respected myself. I said, okay, no problem, sir. In 6 weeks, I just reprocessed my mind, which means that this new job, I have to go there with no leave at all. It means I closed on a Friday, and then on Monday, I resumed on another job. And it affected me mentally. So that made me go back to the drawing board to say, subsequently, I was going to read through to ensure all gaps are covered, that you don't have those kind of experience anymore. So when it comes to, even when the law says something, you have to, and then again, you also have to have, especially in an organization. Although a lot of people will say, well, if it's the organization, we didn't do that for you. Nah, you can extend your good wishes to them. And this, why I said that, there was a company that I wanted to resign from. I got the offer early in the year. I didn't resign not until about the first quarter of the year. By January, I had an offer, but sold out to that job. It was like my
Bolaje, this pala network.
but this one meant a lot to me because
Bolaje, please,
I was
when
able
you
to
are
stay for it.
Bolaje, we did not hear. What we heard last was January, you had an offer. You cannot, this network cannot let us not hear what you're supposed to
Hey,
hear. I'm not
Nigerian network will have it for do now. Anyway,
please.
I said
The
offer came in January, but I did not leave the workplace till March.
Okay.
I didn't exit till March. I didn't put in my resignation till March. And I engaged my employer to be, and I told them, this is my situation. A lot is hanging on my head in this organization. I'm planning a retreat for people in how many countries? And I know the kind of person that my boss was at the time. If I looked at the bigger picture, and I'm telling you till today, I'm sharing a very deep part of my HR experience with you, especially about resignation. I was committed to a purpose, not just my job. The job was bigger than me working for somebody. It was a purpose, and the purpose was make this organization so great that they will wonder and be saying, wow, what is this? We were able to go to different countries, you know, and that for me was, it was huge for me in my career. I had colleagues in almost 11 countries in the world, and I was going to bring them for a retreat in Nigeria. And I told myself, if this is the last thing I'll do for this company, and I will write my name, that people will never forget, or at least when I exit, they will say, she did this. I was like, I can't leave now. This retreat is too strategic for me to leave. I'm the one that is the chief planner. I'm the one doing everything. I'm the one processing. We are bringing over 250 people in a particular hotel to lodge them there for a whole week. No, I knew how big it was. And I said, if I resign, it's going to affect the outcome of this. So I'm not going to resign till after that retreat is over. Nobody knew. I had my offer and I was working. I was working in the night. I was working in the morning. And my offer was there. I'd already accepted offer from a company that came to headhunt me. But I never, till today, Anybody that hears that story, they will tell you that they were shocked. Nothing gave anybody any clue. Nobody saw it coming. The way I resigned, people never see it coming. I was like, this is the last gift you are giving these people. So give them with the whole of your heart. Even some of the guest speakers who came and they now learned that I resigned, they say it's not possible. That person that did so much like that was on her way out, like 2 weeks after the retreat, I resigned. I was even supposed to resign immediately after the retreat, but issues now kept coming up. At that point, I was just saying like, what will I do now? But at some point, I just closed my mind. I said, I can't do this anymore. This is like cutting your teeth to do whatever. I'm actually now inconveniencing myself. My mentor will call it this Stockholm syndrome. You can't do that. Yeah, that has become like a Stockholm syndrome. Because afterwards, I didn't get the recognition. I didn't even get an appreciation for all that work that I did. Was I pained? Amazing. Yes, I was pained. Did I feel used and all that? Yes, but again, I realigned my mind. Remember, you're not committed to these people. I know a guy who gave me a name in one of the places. He calls me an HR evangelist. So if I'm an evangelist goes to a place, tries to preach to people, to give their life, to do this, and then the person moves on afterward. So my assignment is done there. Let me move on to other things, and let me not focus on the things that did not work. And I'm sure there are a lot of you that will come across this video and you say, oh, my employer treated me bad. That does not mean because your employer treated you badly, so you too, you should now go ahead and do the bad thing. There was someone that opened up when they were resigning. They left all the salaries, an HR professional who left all the salaries of people in a public printer for every other person to see.
No, you're joking. You're joking.
I'm not joking. I'm telling you of a real life story. I also know of one that my friend told me, and I said, this kind of people should not be in HR. When the lady was going, she deleted the entire file that she created for the company.
That's
Why
a woman's
would you want to do that? These things happen. You want to retaliate. You want to hurt back the employer. But if you look at it deeply, you've shown that you are not. You've shown that you also have a huge character flaw that you need to work on. Your integrity, your character should not be controlled by an environment. It should be who you are.
Hey,
whether you take me to
wait, we have to write it. We have to write it. Your integrity should not be controlled by your environment. Please.
No, it should not.
Hey, your integrity should not.
It should not be controlled by your environment. It is who you are. It is not people that should control your integrity. Whether they take you to the UK or they take you to the US, or Amazia is watching me as my friend or she's not there. I'm committed to a bigger purpose than the workspace that I'm working in or wherever I go to. And people who work that way, eventually, let's not go too spiritual now. There are laws that governs life. It's only a matter of time before God or the universe or the principles that God has created to guide the earth will follow you. So it's not a case of whether if you're a Christian and if you like be tongue talking, evil speaking, and then you're doing bad things, you don't have integrity, you are not taking your work seriously, you're not owning your work as if you're treating other people's work anyhow. Trust me, only a matter of time. Meanwhile, there are people that they don't even have the knowledge of God. They are atheists or philosophers. I studied philosophy and sociology. Philosophers question everything, but yet they follow the right principles of ethics. Trust me, they will get that result. I think for me, in conclusion, about this particular one that you asked me about. At every point in time, always ask yourself, will I allow somebody dictate how I'm going to live my life? No. Nobody should dictate how you will live your life. When I was done with my assignment in Dubai and I wanted to come back to Nigeria, the same thing, the same way I went, and this brings a lot of memory because today makes it exactly 2 years that I resigned from where I was working at the time, and I said, you know what, go back to Nigeria and think of what you wanted to do. I had every reason, amazing, not to resign appropriately. Every single reason. And there were people in the workspace that were telling me, are you all right? Just walk away and just go. And I said, no, I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to do the right thing because I owe it to myself and to my reputation. Imagine how you've been talking about it, what you know about it, and then one day you just hear one employer saying that, do you know that Bolaji just walked away from the workspace and everything? You now be reading about somebody. No. I said, no matter what they've done, that's how they know how to do their own things. I am going to resign appropriately, and I did that. I gave more than the notice period I should give, Seth. I did because I knew I was leaving the country. And I said, I didn't want anything to soil my name. Let it be that it is them that is owing me. Let it be that it is them that, things are hanging on their heads, but not me. And that's the way I would encourage, I would advise, I would recommend anyone who listens to this. Please don't make it about the employer. No matter how mean, how wicked your employer is to you, do the right thing. Maybe if we want to talk about the employer too, I can then talk about that part as an employer. I am now an employer of labor, and I know that every single human being that has passed through where I work, if you go and ask them today, they can't have anything to say about me, because even when I want to let them go, I don't allow them to feel less of a human being. It's not working means it's not working, and then you have to have that conversation with them, give them time to to hand over and do all of those kind of things, wrap up their activities, and let them go with dignity. Some of the people that I've let go in my organization, as young as it is, some of them are working for me again. Can you imagine that? I call them for projects. Oh, we have one project here. Are you interested? They'll be like, I'm interested. Work on it. They make money. They move on. What I've just realized is that such people are not great for the normal workspace where we move. They can't keep up with the pace, but when you put them on a particular project, they can. And that's how employers too should be. It's not hell when people resign, which is what scares a lot of people. Employers too should try not to be scaring people, and they should also be committed. The same way people should be committed to a higher purpose, employers too should be committed to a higher calling, to say anybody who works here, we would ensure that they have a good memory when they are going. I know as HR, the fight that I fought with several CEOs when people are resigning. There was a particular case of somebody that was resigning. My boss said that we should yank out the system, we should do this, we should do that. And every other person was a senior management at that level. And I said, one question I just asked. I said, okay, because nobody talks. That's another thing I noticed. I always challenge the status quo. I asked a question. I said, so if what is our gain as an organization? But he couldn't say anything.
I didn't hear the question. This is your network. What is the one question you said you asked? Please, please, I didn't hear it.
I said that, okay, so my boss said he called an emergency meeting, that we should somebody has just resigned, a top management person, and I think the person told my employer that she was going to a competitor. And that's another thing that I wrote about that day. You don't need to tell your employer everything about yourself.
Hey, Bolaji,
Don't lie.
Stop. Bolaji, stop. And let's gather this your network, because the next question, the question I wanted to ask you is what you're about to
last
do.
organization in Nigeria,
So, Bolaji,
and I wanted to know. Oh my
Bolaji,
goodness.
stop. It's okay. The question you're about to go into, what you're about to go into, what I'm going to ask you, and you're about to go into it. So I know that's why I said these people don't understand who I brought for them. Her energy is raised for 100. But let me ask the question. When you deal with this thing you're about to say, you can address it, but you're about to deal with it, but I want you to cover it clearly. How much information is too much information? How much information is just right information when you are leaving? Remember when we were having our conversation, I told you about how a girl come to resign and she lied about where she was going to. After she left, they sent me reference. I said, why the auntie not just tell me where she's going to, or just say, I really don't want to discuss it, I'm not comfortable letting you know. But to tell me you're not going anywhere. I now heard later that she had resigned, the former place that she resigned from before she got here. In fact, they came to look for her in the office, wanted to take the car keys from her in the new office and generally embarrass her. So that's why people don't say where they are going to, or don't give certain, because I was like, why are you lying? I was thinking maybe you think I want to go and call one Ifa to destroy your forward movement, or what exactly would make you not want to lie to me? I actually even feel it's okay to say, oh, I really don't want to tell you where I'm going to, I'm not comfortable discussing that with you, or right now I'm not at liberty because we're still in final stages of the discussion, something like that. Because I always teach Navi workers that please, not just saying something, the way you say it is also very important. But they need to know, because you are touching it now. How much information is too much information? And what information do you think they should give, really? Yeah, thank you, BJ.
All right. Thank you very much for that deep thought provoking question. So it's not cast in stone. Again, it's dependent on a lot of factors. The workspace you're working in, who you know, what you know, and all of those things. But generally, just keep it professional. Again, let me quickly tell you a story. So when I left my other organization before going to Dubai, this is a part of my story that a lot of people do not know, and I'm sharing it with you. I worked with an organization. The organization that I plan to go to. Hear this one, I went there, worked there for 2 weeks, and I said, no, Bolaji, you can't do this again. And I resigned. In 2 weeks, I resigned. I had my Dubai offer. I just left that one and took my Dubai offer. Imagine that I told everybody that I was going to that place, and I only spent 2 weeks there. And let me tell you, one of the things that I did is on record. I'm sharing the deep things that I wouldn't ordinarily speak about, but I think it's time for me to speak about it.
Thank you.
The company
thank you for doing it on naviworklife. Thank you.
Yes. And I hope people get to hear this, because this is something that's been in my mind for so long. So this was just the opportunity for me to speak about it. Do you know that company gave me, that was the best thing I'll say happened to me in my career. I got like compensation like that was triple. I even had what they call a sign-on bonus that was going to be continuous, just free money and everything. And the CEO can say, take this money, take the sign-on bonus. It was something that was meant to take before even coming on board. But for some reason, maybe it was God, it was God. Let me just say God. I will say God. I'm not ashamed to say I'm a child of God. Something just.
We are HR evangelists. God said.
Like the Spirit of God was just telling me, don't take this money. Don't take this money. For some reason, I will just wake up like this. I'll see message. Take the money, and this is a lot of money or was a lot of money. Amazing. So the money was meant to be a yearly thing. And then God said, don't take the money. And then when I got there and I saw what was going on, I just made up my mind, I can't do this. And then I resigned. Imagine if I taken that money. How would, even for me to want to do the thing, I will just be thinking of the money first though. Because the money is not small money. I'm telling you. So sometimes also there's something that they call your intuition. Even if you don't know God, there's something that you are, once your heart is not at peace with it, please don't do it. We know our heart, we know how our mind works, and you will have studied it. It's work for you. Something just kept telling me, don't collect the money, don't collect the money. Even while I resumed, where is your check? I'll be like, very soon, very soon, very soon. I was scouting, and then I just told myself, I can't do this. But you can't do this. You can't do this. And what I would say was a key factor for me was that me not taking that money. And guess what? Because of how I left, I had to leave. I said, you know what? I'm not going to. The 2 weeks that I worked for you, I dash you for free. Don't pay me. Let me not. Let everybody just go. I mean, it's still early at this age. Yes, I didn't take any pay. I didn't collect any pay. I didn't take anything. How many people can do that? Amazing. How many people? Not it's my story, and I own it, and I'm proud to share it because I did that. I said so that in future it will be on record. I never collected any money. I worked for you for free for 2 weeks, and I'm okay with it. And everybody, we kissed and we said goodbye, like how they say it. We just waved to ourselves, and everybody went. When I came back from Dubai, this same company, they still made me to come and speak at their event. If I done something so terrible, trust me, amazing, they will not call me. They say, the woman that you start collected money from us, did this, did that. But the CEO knew the challenges that I had then on the job, which was why I exited the job. It was looking like what I'd done before. And I said, I don't want to do what I'd done before. I'm an adventurous person. Let me do something different. And for me, Dubai was different. I was going into a different industry. I was going to be working in the hospitality sector. I was going to be living in another country, which was an experience I'd never had in my career. And one thing I'll tell you, when you stay true to yourself, God honors his word in your life. Every single experience that I told God I wanted to have as an HR professional, I have everything. I say this with every sense of humility, giving God the glory. I don't owe it to anybody. All God did it for me. Every single experience, multinational, startup, live in another country, work with everything, work in the FMCG, work in tech, work in, work in structured big organization, work with startup, work with this. Everything I wanted, God made it happen. Only God can do that. And let me tell you again, if you honor, if you have a purpose in life, God honors it. So going back to your question of TMI, when I was going, I didn't tell anybody where I was living. I knew, I gave a bit of information. I didn't tell those people that I was living that I had offer in Dubai. The Dubai offer was even before theirs, and I was dilly-dallying. But when I went into their workplace and I saw the way they were doing, I said, Kuku, go and take the Dubai offer rather than come and do this. Starting from square one again, you're coming from somewhere. You have labored. Kuku know that this is your work. You're a missionary, HR missionary, HR evangelist. Go and get a new experience elsewhere rather than in the same Nigeria, in the same industry, in the same the thing that you did for 5 years and you left with no recognition. You now want to start it all over again. But you don't do that. And that was why I exited that environment. But I didn't tell them. Again, I had some other issues with the way their work structure was. It's almost similar to where I was, where there was nothing and I had to start over again. And I said, no, that didn't appeal to me. So I didn't have to give them all the information. So please, you don't owe it to your employer for them to because even my employer that I left, who thought I left them, the ones that I left, everybody, they were angry that they don't know what I was up to, they don't know what I was doing. You don't owe your employer. That's the honest truth. You do not owe your employer, and it depends on the kind of relationship you have with your employer. There were people that I've worked with before on the same team. They knew exactly where I was going, what I was going to do, because of the kind of relationship that we have. It depends on the kind of relationship that you have with your employer. If you do not have that kind of relationship, please, you do not owe the employer to go and be telling them, it's my husband that is being transferred. So because of that, I am following my husband so that another person will not snatch my husband. Hey, nobody needs all of that. I'm telling you. Somebody just told me of a story that somebody said, is my wife that is going to do healthcare worker in clinical in the UK. Which one is all that? Because when they have that information, that's what they are going to weaponize against you. TMI. The Bible says, he that keepeth his mouth keeps his life. You don't owe people. And the more mysterious you appear to people, the better for you. Because again, nobody knows tomorrow. Imagine those my employer told them that I was going to their competitor, and I only spent 2 weeks with the competitor and vanished from the competitor and went. And I'm very sure if I told that my boss I was going to competitor, he would have made my life miserable, because he does not want somebody to go to his competitor. So I didn't even tell anybody where I was going. So because of that, everybody was like, this is strange. But again, I didn't start that with that company. I've always done that. I've always not told people where I am going to. So that's me. And the truth is, you do not owe anybody, rather. You do not owe them to tell them where you're going to. But if you have a great relationship with your employer and you know that they can take it, tell them at least to an extent what you know, that, like you said, oh, I'm going to another company, they are in the same industry, similar. Don't go and say I'm going to your competitor. We have seen it while I was working elsewhere. They will go and meet that competitor and go and destroy your reputation there so that they will hold on to you. I mean, that's a nasty thing, but people do it, and you don't know what is in the mind of people. So just in the process of you living as well, protect yourself. And for the employers, they did not sign, people did not sign employees happy when people are going. Be kind to them.
Bolaji, I didn't hear what you said, but you can see my notes are full. I wrote, in the process of you leaving, protect yourself. I will read everything that I wrote. You will be seeing it, will be flashing the nuggets, Big J Diva, Bolaje Shote, all these marketed things that you wrote. Protect yourself. So now let's ask, how do you protect yourself? We're talking about TMI. And I think that we've talked about not giving too much information. You also, at the earlier stages, talked about reading the handbook. Bolaji, let me give you a story, since you're a storyteller. So I worked in a company. Bolaji, are you there? Can you hear me? Oh, this network. Bolaji, this your network is frustrating me. We're waiting for Bolaji because I need her network to be up and running. Bolaji, let me know when you come back or no. BJ Diva, BJ Diva, BJ Diva, BJ. Oh, we've lost her. I'll try to invite her again. Are you guys having fun so far? Bolaji is a storyteller, and I make sure that I don't forget the thoughts. Protecting yourself. Let's see. Bolaji Shote HR. Let's see whether we should ask this one. Live with her. Let's see. Let's see. Bolaji, if you've seen my request, please accept. If you haven't seen it, send a request, please. I am Bolaji. Okay, you have joined again. Let me use I am Bolaji. Let me invite you. Sorry, let me invite I am Bolaji. I am Bolaji. I can't find it though. Hey, I am Bolaji, just joined. I can't find you. I am Bolaji. Bolaji Shote. Are you back?
I don't know who. Why is he showing my phone?
You have to turn your camera around.
All right. Yeah.
You're back. Bolaji, please, you cannot be cutting my heart like this. Please, in the process of living, protect yourself. So, I was saying that, like, how do you protect yourself? Read the handbook. So I was about to tell you a story. I said, since you're a storyteller, let me tell you a story. So I talked about reading the handbook, how you did not even know that, management, there's an amount of notice you give. So at that time, the company I'm working with had a gratuity scheme. And then somebody was coming to resign like a day or like maximum a week before the person will be eligible for the gratuity scheme. But you are HR and you're a business partner. So while you like the people, you also have to like the company. But because you are a human being, so the person came to meet me and said, "Oh, I'm resigning, I'm kidding." I said, "Hey, I looked at the date." I said, "Do you have to go at this time in particular?" He said, "Hey, they've read the handbook. You know, go." I said, "Hey, you've read the handbook." Another thing is that you can read the handbook and you should go and ask HR for interpretation. Don't read the handbook like an expert in handbook. But that is a HR expert. She did not see management to give more notice. Good. And she's HR. So when the person said, okay, I said, "And are you sure?" She was like, "Oh, she won't need some time to rest. She wants to, like, is there any reason why you have to?" I was trying to say, is there any reason why you have to be going now? I said, even my employer will sack me if they know that I don't want to take that thing quickly. She said, okay. I said, okay. I accepted the resignation, thanked her for her service, and she had started the notice period. Then I went on vacation. And the next thing, she was resigning and they gave her no gratuity. She said, that somebody told her that around 3 years you better. They said they did not say around. He said, upon your third year anniversary, did you read it? Did you come and clarify from HR? He said no. Auntie, sorry. That means you worked 2 weeks shy of 3 years and you did not get your gratuity. That would have been like a percentage of your 3 years compensation. So protecting yourself, I would say number one, read the handbook and have a conversation with HR. I know people say HR people are wicked, they are not nice, some of them are even the cause of your problem. Okay, I agree. But ask the question so that you can say, I asked HR and they didn't, that then your email will have a level. So you need to, people asking. If you have questions so that I don't miss it, put in the question icon, but I will ask Bolaji any question that you want me to ask her. So please, how do you protect yourself? Me, I've even read handbook where they say you should give 1 month's notice. But because of my level, Bolaji asked how many months I gave. I gave 5 months because I wanted to finish everything, tidy up everywhere. I was trying to hire for the role. I was trying to hire for myself. They were doing like this. I said, it's as if because I'm giving this, people don't want to get the idea. I gave 5 months. Why? Because I don't want to burn my bridges. Because I don't want to I don't want a situation where you leave people hanging. But even them cannot argue that someone that's meant to give you 1 month gave you 5 months. They can't argue that this person tried for you. So please, how do you protect yourself? I will check for questions, but please, can you, apart from, because you talked about reading the handbook, you talked about the personal experience, you talked about not too much information, any other thing, how do we protect ourselves when we're leaving a company? Thank you, Bolaji.
Okay, how you like I said, you need to be very careful. Some people, they not even dropped their resignation. they've announced, I'm resigning. I'm resigning. They resigned with their mouth. There was a lady that I knew like this that you say, anyway, I will soon be going. Why are you threatening the company now? As it, just resign if you want to resign. You don't need to be telling us. I told you, it needs to be have a formal conversation with them and then do it. So one of the ways you can protect yourself is understanding the handbook. And like you said, look for interpretation. Make sure you understand it. And if you don't, go to HR for clarity. And HR professionals too should be like you said, you have to be able to manage these things, because again, if you go and tell them you are remaining 3 weeks like this, trust me, they are the ones that go and tell. Yes, they will go and tell and say, oh, HR told me. They will quote you. Even the one you do not say, they will not quote you. So the only way you can help them is what you've done. You've actually done the right thing. You need to resign. Try to advise them that I would advise you that maybe you should hold on a bit, because you know what it is.
Bolaje.
You know what is Instagram. You know what it is, but they don't know. So because of that, you can guide them. That's the word. Guide them into making the right decision. But at the same time, protect yourself as HRO, because the same people that you want to do nice to, don't be nice. You can from early in my career, I know that you can't be nice in HR. Be kind, but don't be nice. So you did the right thing, to be honest. Let's put it out there. You did a great job. So if you don't understand, come and meet me, and then I will explain to you with the knowledge. But again, that's why HR's job is very dicey. They call it a thankless job now. You need to protect yourself, because if you don't, employees are dangerous. When I say dangerous, some people are so dangerous. They are looking for what they will hold on and say HR was the one who told me. That's what they're going to go and say. They will quote you. They will say HR told me. HR, everything. HR, even the one HR did not say. So because of that, you need to be very careful about what you share with them. And then even if, for someone like me, if you come and have a conversation with me, I will document it, because I don't want any issue. Make sure documentation.
Yes, document your
conversation. Document your conversation. Some people are very slippery. They will say one thing and it's another thing that you will hear from them. It's another thing they will go and do. And because there is no documentation saying it, is your word against theirs. And you don't be looking like glucose. Thankfully, I had a boss who taught me that early in my career. So as we are finishing the conversation, I'm sending you an email. Some people are good at that, dodging conversations and things like that. So you need to be very careful about that as well. And then don't let anybody, don't let anybody guilt trip you. When one of the places that I was working in, I told you, they tried to make me do more than what I was meant to do. I said no, because you are a toxic organization already. I was living in hellfire, typically working in your workspace, and you want me to now extend my stay when God has finally delivered me from your hand? No, I cannot extend my stay. I cannot be nice like that. Like I said, I'm not nice. So I don't want to work. I don't want to work extra than I work for you.
The boy is nice, or the lonjebe. That's the thing. Yes.
Now don't let people take you for granted. Do the right thing, but at the same time, don't let people take you for granted or take you for a ride. Oh, you want to use me so that I will be there in your workspace. You now go and recruit another person. But meanwhile, another employer that I was working with, listen to this one. I was working for the employer and I resigned. The employer, like similar to what you said, I found them somebody to replace me while I was there. I mean, it's about relationship. Let me tell you, do not burn bridges, but there are some bridges. Burn it. What did I say?
Burn it, burn it, burn it. I'm writing that
Burn it,
down.
burn it,
Do
burn it.
not
And when I
burn.
say burn it, you don't have to be enemies with them. Don't be nasty to them. But such people or such people or entity or organization, don't even identify yourself with them. They have nothing to offer you. So there are some bridges that you will need to burn.
Need to roast.
Yes, there's one company that I consulted for. A company a big company, trying to defraud me. We were working for them, they were not paying us. The company was going to the bank. I was the one who canceled the contract. And I don't want to call me small. I'm a growing organization. Another person would have said, I needed that money. I don't need the money. I need peace of mind. By myself, I looked at money, I looked at peace. I always choose my peace. I say, hold on to your money. I don't need your money. And guess what? God has not failed. Other customers have come outside that. Even forced me to think beyond having just organizational customers alone. We now have individuals that do business with us. Individuals, we do different things. It made me more creative, more innovative. Just because of that incident. I said, how can a company hold me to ransom? We consulted for you for 4 months. You didn't pay us any money. And we'll be working day and night like I don't even know. Like a horse, like Jackie. We'll be working. You did not pay us. Amazing. I made that decision because the clause was in the agreement that we signed. That at every point in time, if you breach our contract, we can resign with an immediate effect. So there are some things that you bought only for me to tell the lawyer to write the person. The person was just telling us that we did not give notice and we have cost them something. Know that they are still owing us. Until now, they are still owing us. So they are still owing us. So but that does not mean that you should not turn yourself to a dumpster. People will just be dumping things at you. No, don't be a dumpster. Be professional, be kind, be excellent at what you do, manage people. But there are times when, severe relationship, you can never see, I don't want to have anything to do with such a company. They lack integrity, they lack everything. I don't want to be associated with them. So if I don't want to be associated with them, why would I want to maintain relationship with such an entity? I hope that is it. And then finally, how do you protect yourself? Be guided by the principles that guide your life, not the principles that guide any place you find yourself working in. When you work in an environment, I've had opportunities of working in companies where integrity was an issue. I stayed true to who I was throughout. I'm still the same person that I am. Those are the principles that God, if you like, you people should be behaving anyhow. That's your own destiny. My own destiny is to do the right thing. My own principle is to do the right thing at all times. Some people say, but other people are doing it, but I'll say, I am not other people.
That's maybe
I dare to be different. Yes, I dare to be different. And I stayed to who I was. I had a boss who said, he said, he calls me, he started calling me names because of how, when everybody's going a certain direction and I don't feel convinced that is the right thing to do, I always speak up. And he said, oh, she's very confrontational. That's what he says. He says about me that I'm very confrontational. And I say, yes, thank you very much. I appreciate that. At least I'm confrontational, but you respect me because I stand for who I am. I stand. One with God is a majority. As long as, that's why you need to have your own principles. As long as I'm not convinced that you are going the right direction. Why would somebody resign and you say that we should be witch hunting the person? I can't do that. Other people can keep quiet. Some people will just stay and look. They won't talk. They won't say anything. I will speak up. They say evil thrive when good men keep quiet. I will speak up. I always speak up. And luckily, let me also say this to you, Amazing. Because of our roles as HR or as leaders, it gives you an opportunity to make your voice heard. But if you keep quiet, that's it. Do you know that I was the one that changed what they would have done in that place? What did you say?
His own guy that used to make people to
hunger. Hey, hunger. Wow. Were you not somewhere before? Will you not be somewhere tomorrow? There was a young man. When my boss said something, he even used to tell me that my boss is always right. And I said, how can he always be right? Is he not a human being? Nobody can be right. Do you know what happened? One day my boss woke up. He said the guy was irritating him, that I should sack the guy. The same person that was saying he can do no wrong, worshiping him.
The boss was right.
The boss was right. The guy said, he called me to his office. He said that the guy irritates him. He cannot take initiative. That everything I'm saying, he just agrees with me and he irritates me. So please take him out. We don't need these people like this. So again, this same hunger, whatever, is what has festered a lot of bad behavior in organizations that are aiding and abetting. How do they call it? How do lawyers call it? They say he aided and abetted the person. So at the end of the day, you have to, those principles should guide how you do your work, how you live your life. Whether you are in London, whether you are in America, whether you are in Venezuela, whether you are in Nigeria, whether you are in one remote village, because you are committed to a purpose that is beyond an organization. It's about who you are, it's about what your values are as a human being. And you should stay committed to your values, because you're going to stay with yourself for most part of your life. I've worked in how many organizations now in the course of my career, yet I am still Bolaje. I'm still the same person that I was. Nobody changed me. I worked in toxic organization where they wanted people to be mean and unkind. I didn't become that person, because that's not me. That's not me. And I stayed committed to who I am till the rest of my life. This is Bolaje that I've been, that person that I have been. I will always be that person. Nobody, no environment, no human being will change me to who I'm not. So I think that sums it up.
I have been writing. I have been writing. Like I said, this my book is to soon finish, only on our first guest of the year. But this is how many of you agree that this is a fantastic way to start the year? This is a fantastic way. Now, Bolaje, normally this is the first in the series of the whole year. We will call you again, but before you go, now you know that some people carry their issues to work on their face, and like you are going through something in life. And I told you guys at the beginning, and I'm going to invite Bolaje again, is to dealing with trauma. And myself and Roshan will dealing with trauma whilst navigating a career. Bolaje, I'm asking you in front of everybody, please, you will come. I just want you to give a summary of what they should expect. I'm going to maybe it's in the next quarter, because and then you're going to get our delivery and everything. Because when you get our gift box, please do a video, post it, and all of this.
Don't worry. I will loud it like they used to say.
Can you see?
I will loud it.
They are already
supporting sisters now.
Yes. So Bolaje, what we are going to do, we're going to talk about, because Bolaje lost her husband at a very young age. I think he's 18. How many years ago? 18 years.
It's 17 years. 17. This is 17 years. Yeah.
17 years ago, she had 2 sons. 17 years ago. So all these places and all these things she's telling you, she did as a widow. There is no way. You're not going to tell us just one thing, but we're going to invite you again. It will definitely be the next quarter, and we're going to call that dealing with trauma whilst navigating a career. It is very important that people understand that, look, everybody is going through. So that HR person that you think is wicked, she too, she carries a problem. She will not only be wicked, she will bring a gun and she will shoot you. So you may be going through something, but you still have to be professional. We've all had, I had a trauma once in my life. that I just felt that my boss should understand. Because in that trauma, I was picking my call. They will call me. What did they say happened here? I will go out of the office. I was distracted. That's the worst appraisal I've ever gotten. I got 68 or 66. I can never forget. It was in the 60s. In the 60s region. I said, and then she said to me, she knew what I was dealing with though. So she empathized with me. She said you were distracted. So as it concerns your deliverables, this is the appraisal you're going to get. So what does that tell you? And that was, we're still friends till today.
Yes.
We're still friends till today. But I remember that because I should have taken 2 or 3 days off. So that if everybody's calling me, dealing with the trouble, we'll go and deal with it there. Not in the office where I'm supposed to be delivering and they're expecting things from me. But you navigated. No, I'm not going to talk about it. You navigated. We have no. I don't want to enter this thing. But I need one nugget. You navigated being a widow for 17 years. And Bolaji, I don't know why you don't like to praise yourself, but you have thrived. You have thrived. If you don't blow your trumpet, me, I will blow it for you. You've done well. Your children, one is in university or they graduate. I mean,
two of them are in the university.
2 of them are in the university, and you are paying school fees. And some people are still having the nerve to owe you. That's why the Bible says God is the defender of the widow. Let's not go there. So, some people are still having courage to be owing you money. Let's leave that. But can you tell me one thing that kept you going? We're going to have a full-blown session on it, but one thing that kept you going.
God. That's all I can say. God kept me going, and then I had a vision. And that vision was even before I lost my husband. It was while I was
everything. Now there's another session. Let's stick with God.
It was that vision that continued to drive me and still drives me. And I'll tell you what that vision is. While I became very successful in HR, I studied philosophy and sociology, and I told myself that I wanted to be an HR person. And I didn't get that opportunity until, my loss and all of that. And I told myself, I said, when they want to mention great people, when I hear of great people, I said, Bolaji, you'll be amongst them. They will mention your name that you are great. And I think that kept driving me. Even there are times when I'll just be like, I don't have the strength to go anymore. Then I'll be like, but this is not where it's going to end now. This is not where the story ends. Yes. So because the story does not end here, you need to put on your shoes. It's just, so know when to rest. Know when to rest. Pick up your shoes and keep running. They say when you don't give up because you are tired, you take a rest. Rather, you rest when you're tired. Rest and relax. Do things that make you happy. Tomorrow will be a better day. Don't give up. I think that giving up, I have a mentor, God bless this mentor, who says giving up is not an option. We know that giving up is, so once you have it at the back of your mind that giving up is not an option, it changes the game. And then the final one that you need to be inspired. And what inspires me? My children inspire me. And why? I say my children don't have a father to look up to. So if their mother is not doing failure, what will give them something to say, oh, we saw? But what makes me want to keep going on is the fact that my children will see all that I've been through over the years. Now my children have come to a point where they trust me. No matter what happens, they'll say, Mommy, you're the one. When I wanted to come back to Nigeria, of course, children, one of them was living with me in Dubai. He didn't want to come back. Like, people were leaving Nigeria in droves, and you are coming back. Like, he just didn't understand. And, I went back to that to say, have I ever done something that would jeopardize your life and your future? And for me, last year, he had a conversation with me. He said, Mommy, I'm so grateful that we came back to Nigeria. I'm so happy. But that time, he wasn't happy about it. So the fact that I get to inspire my children never to give up on their dreams is enough for me to wake up every morning and say, Bolaji, continue to chase your dreams. I think those are the things, the God factor,
But we're going
the
to
fact
talk about
I
that
wanted to
at
be great,
a fuller
and
session.
that's it.
We're going to talk about
Yes,
it.
so that's it.
And because to be honest, my children, 7 and 6, the one that is 7 is going to be 8 in March. They are my biggest champions. If they meet you today, they'll tell you, my mom is a YouTuber. Are you subscribed to Navi Work? You are not subscribed. We need to hit 1,000. So come and subscribe. We are going to get the play button. And so even when you're tired, you don't want to come on the live. My children are so excited about what I do. Before this live, they told me to do a video. You look so nice, mommy. Your hair is not in place. Let's brush it down. Then do a video and tell them to get ready. Are they ready? So that last video, they forced me to record it. Say, are you ready for this evening? Get ready. It was the 7-year-old and they were both filming with 2 different phones. So things that people need to hear, that the fact that we come out and do Navi Work and we come and do it, it's not because we wanted to. There's a lot involved, even working yourself up. People were like,
you can't let them down. You can't let them down. They are looking up to you. And they see your struggles, they see what you've overcome. And because when they start going through that thing, that will be their motivation. My mother navigated this, my father navigated it, and they didn't fail. I can do the same thing. So I think that's it. I feel that I'm inspiring my children, and that suffices for me. My youngest son, he always tells me that my mom will tell you, I want to share more lori meji. Let me translate. The people that are doing it, they don't have 2 heads. There was one year like this, he cleared our words. Why? He said, because my mother said the other people who are clearing their words, they don't have 2 heads. And that's the spirit.
Right.
No, well, that no matter where they come from, no matter who they are, they can be anything they want to be. I tell my children every day, you can be anything you want to be. Anything at all you want to be. If you can dream it, if you can envision it, it might not happen immediately, but it will happen. And that gives me joy.
Bolaje, on behalf of the Navi workers worldwide, Bolaje, I'm not as big as I want to be yet, but you know I'm getting there. But I know that we have viewers from Canada, from Malawi, from Zimbabwe, from UK, from Nigeria, from China. We have people from America. We have people that watch from everywhere. Because of time difference, a lot of people catch up. But we're also going to upload the video and we'll be posting the nuggets online. But you see, we are grateful. You will, when we send you our gift box, you will know that we are grateful. We're very grateful that you came. We're very grateful for the way you shared your stories and gave us the nuggets. The nuggets were embedded in your stories, and that's your style because you like to engage. They're telling you thank you. Adeke coming from Leeds is telling you thank you. Thank you for sharing your story. Don't say, I don't want to. No, you shared your story and you let people know that they are not alone in what they think or what they go through or when they want to resign. And for this, we are entirely grateful. We're going to invite you again. Yeah. No, Bolaje. You know, I can't I think that words will fail me to show my appreciation, and I only hope that when you get our gift box, you would see it. It will represent the essence of what we're trying to say. To just say thank you for showing up here. Thank you for showing up for us. Thank you for giving your life story, and we will invite you again because you need to come and talk to us about navigating a career and a trauma at the same time. Sibongile is in Zambia or Zimbabwe. She's telling you thank you. That's to tell you that, you know, it's why I will upload on YouTube, and you know, whatever is on YouTube. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please, you are wrong. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're going to upload this video and just tell everybody to tell everybody, because we're not doing it so that we can, but well, we're going to be great. That's, in fact, we're already great. Greatness is at work in us, but this is our way of also back to the next generation of employees. Absolutely. Because the things that Bolaje learned, she learns inside an office. Most people are working remotely now, so they don't even know what you're talking about. Be early, be late, small, service, good relationship, maintain. They don't understand because they've not had the luxury of being in the 4 walls of an office. And that's what Navi Work is trying to do, to get people to learn what we learned sitting inside an office. Because some things they are taught, some things you catch them. Some things are taught, some are taught. So the things you catch are things that you see by observation. They didn't tell you, they didn't teach you in a classroom or in a training session. You caught it just by observing somebody. So those are the things that Bolaje has shared with you. You will not see Bolaje's story in any textbook. You will
Mm,
not see it, but you can catch this experience, even though you may not have
mm.
the privilege of sitting in an office. So, Bolaji Shote, on behalf of Navi Work worldwide, we say thank you. On behalf of every Navi worker, we say thank you. And please, we know you are a busy woman because the Lord has blessed you. You are blown when we call you. In fact, we will give you the month and then we say, give us a date. We know that we've reduced it. We said we want to be doing our lives the first and the last Thursday. But just tell us your date. We will follow you. Once we give you the month, just tell us, Ameze, this is the month I can pay. And as a boss that you are, we will align. We will arrange ourselves to fit your program. Thank you so much. And
Ah.
you think I have energy? Can you see that Bolaji is raised to the power of 100? I can't match it, but the Lord is
Our
helping me.
energy, we match each other in energy. Imagine both of us being in a room. Ah, that place is going to
Bolaji, the
be
room will be on fire.
ah, fireworks. What is fire? Fireworks. Serious
Fireworks.
fireworks.
Thank you
Like
so much,
those
Bolaji. Thank
ones you
you
see in
so much.
Dubai. Yes.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much.
It's such
And
an
then you
honor to
catch
be
up.
there. Yes, I don't take it for granted, and thank you everyone that is going to listen. I've shared from when I share. This is how I share. I'm sharing from my heart, and I do hope that this blesses someone to continue to stay on course, not to give up, and to be their best in whatever they are doing, staying committed to themselves, to a purpose, and not just to a particular environment, organization, or society they find themselves living in. And that those are my parting words. Thank
Thank
you
you,
for
Bolaji.
having me. I
Thank
do
you
not
so
take it
much.
for granted. I'm honored to be here too. See you
Thank you.
some other time, and then we catch up
Yes, thank you, Bolaji.
offline.
You can drop out now. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Oh God, I'm
thank you too.
full. I'm full. Thank you so much. If you did not, I'm sure that you enjoyed what I enjoyed. We're going to upload the video. Don't worry. We're going to try to upload it on YouTube as well. Thank you all for signing up, and thank you for all those that are going to watch later. Remember, if you have not subscribe to the YouTube channel, make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you have not bought your copy of the book Body Up, please send us a DM. We can deliver to you depending on where you are, or you can just get it on Amazon or on Seller. And so we're absolutely grateful. We thank Bolaji Shote so much. Thank her so much, Bolaji. I'm going to call you right after this, right? Yes. So thank you so much, and yeah, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your Friday. It was so good, right? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. So have fun, guys. Have an amazing weekend. Bye bye.